Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what the realistic expectations are of you starting a social media marketing agency in 2023. So you have started an agency. You've just started an agency today. You've clicked on this video and you're like, right, what can I expect? Like from someone that owns a successful marketing agency in 2023, have done since 2019, what can you expect? And in terms of how much money you can make, what your life looks like really over the next 6 months to a year. And I'm going to break down what the process is. And I'm going to start with someone who isn't an Academy member, then I'm going to go into an Academy member. And that's not to sell the Academy in any way when I talk about the life of Academy member. It's a life of anyone who joins any mentorship program, a good one, because the process and the kind of what you can expect is very different in terms of the learning phase. So step one, you're brand new to SMMA. You might have watched one of my videos. You might have seen an Instagram ad of someone like an Instagram guru or whatever talking about SMMA as an opportunity to make money online. And it's really serious opportunity to make some serious money online. However, what's the process? Because what it absolutely isn't is you start an SMMA today. In 2 weeks' time, you're going to be earning 10 grand a month by clicking a few buttons. What it also absolutely isn't is you signing a client for social media marketing here. You then find a contractor here that you give the service delivery to. You charge them $2,000, they charge you $1,000, and you skim $1,000 off the top. That is absolutely not what social media marketing is. It baffles my brain that, and I say this in the videos, if you watched it, if you're a long subscriber to this channel, you're going to be sick of me saying this. I can't believe that method's still being taught. When you look at the people that are teaching it, the agencies that they run, yes, they do have successful agencies, some of them, but even the ones that are successful, they don't run an agency in that way. They have in-house employees, and what I mean by in-house employees are people that work within your business, not necessarily in your office, in your house, everything's remote, but it's people that you work closely and assign to your agency that don't own an outsourcing agency that take on loads of clients from loads of different agencies. They hire people that only work for their agency. Because if you're running an agency that you say you do, you're not going to want someone in a foreign country who works with loads of competing agencies running the same strategies for you, because that's not how you build a good brand. You have your own individual strategies and processes that you want to keep in your agency. So that's absolutely not what it is. But in terms of what it actually is in the first probably month, you're not going to sign a single client. And what I mean by that is that first month is setting up your agency. So, creating a domain, creating a website, creating a logo, setting all of that stuff up will take a few days. Absolute maximum 2 days. If that setup phase of your agency takes any longer than 2 days, you're doing something seriously wrong. You need to be focusing on money-making tasks and money-making tasks only, and creating a super nice logo and a website to show your nan and your brother isn't a money-making task. So you need to get that straight first. But after you set up your agency, you then need to invest a serious amount of time into developing the skill set. Firstly, you need to decide what services you're offering. Are you running Facebook ads? Are you running email marketing? Are you doing social media management? Are you offering sales funnel creation? What is it your agency is going to offer to businesses to help them bring in more leads, more sales, more clients for their business? That's step one. You need to figure out what that is. Once you figure out what services you're going to offer, you then need to learn what those services are and become an expert in them. And that, unfortunately, does take time. That is going to take 2 or 3 weeks to either go through a course or, go on YouTube and watch every video you can possibly find around Facebook ads or email marketing, what softwares to use, how to use them. And that's going to take time. And I'm going to move on to if you're in an academy or a mentorship program in a second. But that learning phase of finding videos on YouTube is probably actually going to take a few months of finding everything that you need to know to the detail you need to know it in order to be able to charge $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month to a client. Because there is a lot. It's very advanced. It's not as easy as you think. If you're just doing social media management, like posting images on social media for your clients, then absolutely you can learn that in a day. You just get on later.com, schedule the post they send you, get on Canva, make some posts, whatever. And that's fine. But if you're doing the really in-depth sales funnel strategies, email marketing strategies, Facebook ad strategies, it's gonna take you some time to learn. So you better put a few months aside to do that. Then, once you've learned your service, you then need to start outreaching to businesses. So you need to get on the phones. You need to ring 50, 25, 30, 40, 50 businesses every single day and start booking meetings. Then there's going to be a period in between cold calling them, getting them on a meeting, and then signing them as a client. So there is quite a long time frame in the terms of you starting your business, creating your logos and your domains, and then signing a client. Like there is that break period, because there's the learning phase, there's cold calling. Then when you do cold call, you might be cold calling in the wrong way. You need to develop your sales skills. Then you've got to learn how to present your services in the correct way. So, is there, what presentation are you showcasing these guys? Like, how are you handling their objections in the meeting? What are you doing on the follow-up meeting? How are you closing them? Like, what contract are you sending them? How are you invoicing them? How are you then going to onboard them? How are you going to connect their Facebook business manager to your Facebook business manager? Like, there's a whole process that you need to learn that a lot of people don't think about when they're starting a social media marketing agency. And this video isn't to deter anyone. It's actually the opposite. I want everyone to start a social media marketing agency. I own a social media marketing agency, a very successful one, and even if every single person on my channel grew their agency to $100,000 a month, that would have zero impact on the success of my agency. It actually would have the opposite effect of helping me, because the social media marketing industry is so murky at the minute, filled with loads of people that don't know what they're doing, and it's affecting the industry because every business owner now thinks that social media marketing is a scam because they pay these businesses, they do a terrible job for them, and then when Tom and I come around who actually can do a good job for them, they're like, no, we've tried that before and it didn't work. And it's like our academy and us doing these YouTube videos is trying to make the industry a better place, which is going to help us sign clients in the future. So, like I say, there is that long learning phase. However, if you're in an academy, and the whole point of our academy is, and this is, please don't take this as we're promoting the academy here. This is just to promote the process of where you want to be and how quickly you want to get there. Whereas step one was, you've got to search YouTube. You've just got to get on YouTube, watch as much content as possible of how to start an agency, and eventually you're going to get all of the knowledge. Everything in the academy, to a point, everything in anyone's academy is somewhere on YouTube. It might be in a PDF, on a video 2 years ago, and you've just got to find all these little pieces and put them together. But that's going to take you hours and hours and hours, months and months and months. Or you can find someone you trust. Doesn't have to be me, it can be a different YouTuber. Make sure that they are who they say they are. Make sure they make the money they say they make through their agency, not a course, or the course that you're going to potentially purchase. And then you just get a vault of content. You just go through it and you learn everything you need to learn in kind of 15 hours worth of content. And then you're ready to start outreach. So instead of a 2-month period where you're searching YouTube for this hidden bit of information, you get access, you get the 15 hours of content, you go through it in 2 weeks, make all your notes, you're now an expert on the delivery, you're now an expert on the sales side of things, you've got a presentation that you can just copy and paste in terms of how to deliver that presentation to a client and close them, and you're good to go. So the process of starting an agency and signing your first client does dramatically change on whether you've got someone to lean on and learn from directly and follow up, a success blueprint, or whether you'll just go and try and error, which I did, and it took me 6 months to sign my first client, and then I lost that first client after 3 months. So in terms of expectations of how much money you can make, and I'm going to say this from when you start outreach. If you start outreach today and So not including where you're learning your service delivery, which you need to do before your outreach, because you're going to get questions on that service delivery, on your cold calls and on your meetings that you need to be able to answer. So if you've got a cold calling strategy, you know how to deliver sales meetings, and you start cold calling today, 25 to 50 business owners a day, there's no reason why within the first month you can't have at least 2 clients paying you $1,000 a month each. There is no reason. If you stick to the plan, you know what you're doing, there's no reason. We've had academy members sign their first 2 clients in the first week of starting outreach. Absolutely crazy. That's not to say everyone does it. Some people don't sign their first client in the academy for 2 months. It sounds crazy that I'm the owner of the academy and I'm saying that. It's being realistic. It completely depends on how much outreach you do and how good you are at that outreach. But that's very possible. But average, there's no reason why you can't sign your first client in the first month. And then in terms of getting to 10k a month, this really depends on how good you are and how much time you really have, because managing 10k a month worth of clients does take a lot of your time. So if you have a job, you're probably not going to have enough time after work or even the communication hours there to manage those 10k a month worth of clients. So that is something that you need to look out for. But within 3 or 4 months, at least to 6 months, you need to sign, 10 clients? how difficult's that to do if you're cold calling 50 businesses a day? I think that's very realistic. I've seen it be done before. I've seen Academy members do it before, but it does also massively depend on how knowledgeable and skilled are you at sales. If you're really shy, you're not very good on camera, you've not got your shit together and you can't hold a conversation with people, then you are going to struggle, because a massive part of SMMA is sales. So if you're a good salesperson, you're switched on, you're creative, and you can handle objections and, mask the different situations, you're going to be really good at the job. And I do think you can get to 10k a month within 4 to 6 months if you really put your mind to it and focus all on outreach and sales. And the final expectation is, flipping on its head slightly, is if your communication is poor, you will fail. I say that with 100% confidence, that if your communication is terrible, you will absolutely fail in SMMA. If you can't communicate on cold calls, you can't communicate in a sales call properly, you can't communicate your worth, you can't hold a conversation with a business owner, if you're shy, if you're like really timid and you get anxious on calls and the business owner can sense that's gonna send a subliminal message that you're not confident in your services, and you need to have that communication there. Not only that, once you sign the client, if your communication is terrible and you're only getting into SMMA because it's an easy job and you're hoping to just sign a few clients, sit back on a beach and do fuck all, you're also going to fail. And I'm sorry to be the person that tells you this and ruins your Bali dream of owning a 6-figure agency and doing no work. It doesn't exist in 2023. The times have changed. They really have. And I think you have to be going into SMMA thinking this is a real job. Although it's not a 9 to 5 and you're not stuck, you have the time freedom, the location freedom and all of this, you still need to be committed to the business, and you still need to care about the clients you're working with and have strong communication with them to constantly update them on the progress of the campaigns, constantly update them on what you need from them, and just have a strong communication channel with them and a good relationship with the businesses, which takes time and it takes skill to build and communication skills to build. So hopefully that puts a few things in perspective, guys, a few realistic expectations, something to be excited for, because once you get your shit together, you can make some serious fucking money if you put your mind to it within a very short period of time. And when I say short period of time, I don't mean overnight, I mean a couple of months. But is that worth it? 2 months of fucking unbelievably hard work to escape a 9 to 5, earn money with a time and location freedom to do whatever you want? I think that's a pretty good deal, but it's just not what most people say it is, where it's a get rich quick overnight scheme and you don't have to put any work in long term. You absolutely do. But I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. If you've not watched our previous video, the previous video was on how to stop yourself losing a social media marketing agency client. Really good video. Give it a watch, and we'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m.